Hello humans, I'm TheAlienDoctor, but you could call me Alien, and welcome back to another Minecraft Bedrock Edition beta video. This is Minecraft Bedrock Beta 1.18.0.22, and today we're going to be looking at all of the latest and most interesting features and bug fixes to do with this beta. Also, a slight side note, Minecon Live 2021 happened just a week ago as I am recording this. I have made a recap video recapping all of the things announced at Minecon or Minecraft Live 2021, so I would recommend that you do check that out if you did not watch the live stream itself, or if you just want a reminder of what was announced. So the first thing they have done in this beta is actually implement a new experimental toggle. This is the vanilla experiments toggle. Locked behind this toggle, you will find the Sculk sensor and the goat horn. This is likely because, at the very least, the Sculk sensors are most likely coming out when the Deep Dark comes out, which, as we found out at Minecon Live 2021, will be during 1.19 instead of 1.18 like we originally thought. So one of the things that they added behind that vanilla experiments toggle is a ton of Sculk Blocks. So as you can see, we've got the actual Sculk itself, Sculk Veins, Sculk Catalyst, Skulk Shrieker, and Sculk Sensor. So before we do anything else, let's go over what each of those blocks do. So the first block we have here is the Sculk Block itself. Now this can be mined with a hoe, and as you can see there, it will actually give you experience points. If you mine it with a hoe with Silk Touch, then it will mine without giving you XP, but then you also get the block as well, kind of like how ores work. The other thing to point out is whilst the main tool that you mine this with is a hoe, you can also mine it with your fist if you want to, and it will still drop experience. So it's different from stone in that way. Also, kind of unrelated, a strange bug with this update, everything you hold in your hand is actually grayscaled, and even if you drop it on the floor, it's still grayscaled. It's a little bit weird, but anyway. Now, the other thing that I just like to take a look at is its really nice texture, and you can actually see here that the texture is animated, which I think looks really, really nice, and I feel like this is a really good block for builders. I mean, I'm not much of a builder myself, however, I can imagine this being used in a lot of good builds, as, I don't know, I just think it looks like quite a nice decorative block, especially for interiors, but as I say, I'm not a builder. So we also have these are the Sculk Veins, and they're kind of like the glow lichen, or lichen, or however you're meant to say it, except for they're obviously Sculk, and I believe they don't glow as well. As you can see here, you can also place them on all four sides of a block, like so. There we go. So if you break them with a Silk Touch hoe, like so, then it will actually drop the block itself, or I guess it's not really a proper block, but anyway, it will drop. If you destroy it with a normal hoe or just your fist, it will not drop. And it does in fact insta-mine with a hoe, but not with your fist. That's also something to point out. So the next block we have to look at is the Sculk Catalyst. So as you can see here, whilst mining it with a hoe is quicker, it's not instant mine like the other Sculk blocks that we've looked at. But yeah, if you just punch it, it is a lot slower than actually mining it with a hoe. And then does it drop? Yes, it does. What about non-Silk Touch? Okay, so if you mine it with a non-Silk Touch tool, presumably a hoe, then it won't drop experience and it will just drop the block. Or the other way around. Whatever, the one that makes the most sense. You probably know what I meant because I just showed you how to do it. But anyway, the main feature about this block, and I think it's probably a good idea if I move it away from my command blocks over there, is whenever a zombie or any mob gets killed next to it, it should spread. Yeah, as you can see there, it spread. So it spread a ton of the Sculk blocks, which you can then use your Silk Touch hoe to mine and gather up all these, or you can also use them for experience if you want to. Either way works. The other thing is obviously if you're killing a mob, it isn't just a zombie. If you're killing that mob next to the Sculk Catalyst, then it won't actually drop XP. The mob won't drop XP. Instead, you get the XP back, presumably the same or similar amount of XP back from the Sculk blocks when you mine them. Possibly even more, looking at actually how much I'm getting from this. But anyway, so the next block that we're going to look at is the Skulk Shrieker. If we place it down here, and obviously, as you can see here, I've actually removed my night vision, because if we walk around a little bit, then it should activate. Or not, apparently. It activated just now. It would it would appear it's broken because I'm making a load of sound. What happens if I'm in survival? No? Okay. Interesting. So after looking deeper into this, it looks like there's a bug right now. You can only use the Skulk Shrieker once per world, if that makes sense. So let's hop into a world really quickly to show you this working. Right now there's just a bug where it only works once. And I've already used it once off camera. So I've seen it, but you guys haven't. So here I am in a completely new world to kind of show you this. And because obviously it only works once per world due to a bug at the moment, I'm going to explain about the Shulk Shrieker to you first, and then we'll actually see it in action. So basically what it does is it detects vibrations, or to be more specific, sound. And when it does, it makes a loud shrieking sound. Now right now the shrieking sound has no use, it is just a loud sound. It will also give you the darkness effect, which we'll see later. However, in the future, the idea of the shriek is to attract the warden towards you, possibly with the warden even climbing up from beneath the ground, as we saw some footage of this in Minecon Live 2021. But anyway, that's enough chit chatter. Let's just place this thing down and see what it's like. So, boop. And as you can see, I believe it's actually meant to detect me walking right now, just near it. I wonder if I break a block. Yeah, so I believe it's meant to detect that stuff, and it's meant to detect me jumping. Maybe if I go into survival real quickly, it might then. No, it hasn't. Okay. Well, what I do know is that if you stand on it, it starts the shriek. So I'll just be quiet and let you see this. So as you saw then, it gave me this darkness effect, which sort of is like blindness in a way, where it basically makes your surroundings really dark. And I intentionally chose to demonstrate this next to the lava, because you could see how a light source sort of works when you have this effect. And yeah, it's genuinely like a really cool effect. I really do like it. Probably annoying when you're playing in survival, but anyway. So as I mentioned, obviously the idea of this is that it will then bring the warden towards you. So you also heard the loud scream or shriek, I guess, just then. And yeah, that's kind of its only function that I'm aware of at this current point in time. So when you mine this block normally, it will drop experience. And then if you mine it with a silk touch, it does not drop experience and then drops the block like so, which is quite nice. And yeah, that's pretty much all you need to know about the Shulk Shrieker. It's not got a ton of other features other than what I've already showed you. This is just a quick note as I'm editing this video, just to point out that whilst there is obviously the Skulk, I can't even remember what it's called now. What's it called? Oh yeah, I remember. So whilst obviously the Skulk sensor does exist in this beta and stuff, it's been in previous betas before, so I'm not going to show it off. Whilst yes, it is a deep dark block, it's been in other betas, you probably already know what it does. And yeah, there's no point in putting it in this video because, well, its full features aren't even finished yet, and it's not like it was added in this beta or anything. So yeah, now back to past Alien. So moving on to something that isn't related to the deep dark or the various Skulk blocks, there is actually a new music disc. So let's place down our jukebox and let's get it. It's called Other Side. It's by the same artist, Lena Rain, or however you say their name. Sorry, I'm probably butchering that. I don't know these things, but it's by the same artist that made Pig Step. Anyway, let's just give it a small listen. I will link a video in the description to the entire song if you want to listen to it, but let's just listen to part of it. Okay, that's enough. So I'm not sure if this will actually get me copyrighted or not, so yeah, anyway. Because I believe when Pigstep was first added, then you would get copyright claimed. Hopefully the same thing won't happen, and I do know now if you include Pigstep in your video, it won't copyright claim you, so that's fine. Anyway, this is a really nice music disc. Like, if you want to hear my thoughts, then, well, this is the video. But yeah, in general, this is, really like this music disc. I don't think it's too similar to anything else that we have in the game, which is quite nice, to be honest. And yeah, I really like it, as I say. What else is there to say about it? Not much. I like it. That's it. Next feature. And the next feature is, in fact, music related, because it is actually some new overworld music by the same artist, Lena Rain, however you say your name, I'm sorry once again, and another person whose name I'm not even going to try and attempt to say. And yeah, this is just some new overworld music. I'll link the links to them in the description, because there's a video that has like all of them in one video and stuff, and yeah, it's cool. Now, I don't think it's replacing any music we already have. I think it's only adding in new music, which is kind of good if you ask me. So unfortunately, a feature has been removed. If we scroll down here and then do the world type, you'll see that there's now only infinite world type and flat. Previously, you'd have an old world. Now, old worlds were basically a world but with a border, so you wouldn't be able to like leave that border, if that makes sense. Like, they'd be limited size worlds, like how they used to be. That's why they're called old worlds. And yeah, they're now gone, which is a shame. So if you want an old world, you better make it in the 1.17 versions, because once 1.18 comes out, you will not be having an old world, which is a shame. Something else about old worlds is that existing old world types will still be playable, but they will be not updated to 1.18 features. And now it actually says here that it's locked the world's base game version to 1.17.4, which also suggests it's unlikely we'll get another 1.17 version. But something I want to point out here is I believe you can actually edit this information using something like MCC Editor, or wait, no, that's not its name. Using something like MCC Tool Chest is what I meant to say. I totally just forgot the name of MCC Tool Chest for a second there. But anyway, so you can use MCC Tool Chest, I imagine, to actually edit this, which might mean there's a way to get 1.18 features in old world types. I don't quite understand why they haven't done it, to be completely honest. Maybe it's just that the world was so small that to fit in one of these new big mountains, it would just take up the entire world or something. I could kind of see that being a thing. So maybe they should just increase the size of an old world type instead of getting rid of it. But whatever, the decision has been made. Whilst this probably isn't final, I doubt there will be any changes to it. So breaking a campfire with a piston should now drop 2 charcoal instead of 1 like expected. So if we do this, then you can see here it has dropped 2 charcoal. And then let's just test out the soul campfires as well. Oh, well, that's slightly embarrassing. This shows you how much I know about stuff. So yeah, soul campfires actually drop soul soil instead. I totally knew that and totally didn't forget that that was a thing. So the rest of the things in this update are minor bug fixes that aren't really video worthy. Like, if you really want to go and read them, then go check them out in the changelog down below, because yeah, they don't really require a demonstration. They're pretty simple and straightforward. So I am just going to end this video right here. So thank you ever so much for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe today to join the Alien Empire and to get more of these 1.18 beta videos. I'll see you in the next video coming soon. Bye.